So we dropped this off yesterday around noon, and yep, just went over and picked it back up.
All right, it's almost warm. What is today?
Thursday, the 18th.
There we are.
Cleaning.
Cleaning.
Gotta get these cranberries.
It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks real good.
All right, so right now,
Getting cleaner by the minute.
pull the cam bearings out. Yeah, we just wipe it with the blue towels on all the surfaces, even lint be damned. I mean, and just keep cleaning. I mean, until the towels keep coming back without that dirt on it. See that dirt right there? Until they pretty much come back without that, we're not done. And sometimes you'll never ever get done. But we'll just spend a little bit more time. And we don't have the front cover gasket. So what we're doing right now, basically work ourselves completely out of parts. And by that, since we don't have the front cover gasket, I cannot put the bed plate on, because when I put sealant on here, I want to be able to let the sealant smash out, and then I want to put the front cover on, that way it all dries. So we have a lot of work to do before we're ready for the actual front cover for the sealant. We did get the crank. I think Julie already showed it, but let's show it again. Bob Morton did it. I welded some in there. That's a bummer. It took some. Sometimes they just have to remove. It's a pain in the butt when you have to add, because that Mallory's getting even more and more expensive. We'll spin it around. I'm not going to spin it around to look for any other spots where he balanced it at, but it looks very, very nice. Got it done in 23 hours. We was without possession of it for 23 hours, and it is back right now. And he said he's very, very happy to do it. Very, very happy to do it. So we do not have, as of this moment right now, we do not have issues with parts or services or getting things done, but it's going to cost. So that's okay. I would rather have someone happy that they did the work, because they feel they're being compensated almost more than what it's worth. So
We feel the same way.
because we feel the same way. So yeah, let's pass it around. So right now at the process, I'll move this table, move the toolbox over, and we'll have our little assembly room. I know a lot of people actually have an engine assembly room. We're kind of blessed enough that we have the whole shop available to us. We always really have, but it got a little...
You wouldn't like to have one.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be nice to not have the tall ceiling where we're building the engine at, because we have to heat the whole room, right? I'd rather only heat it with like 8-foot ceilings. This says it's 65 degrees in here. It doesn't feel like that, does it? No.
I think the thermostat's whack.
James did pick River City. We're going with River City oil pan. Anything else? We are recording this. We'll have the whole thing, everything we did in real time. But with day and age, I'm worried about taking too long, right? Showing too much and the videos being too long, because I mean, we could make we showed it. We could make a 36-hour long video showing exactly everything. So we're trying to figure out how much is too much, how much you guys want to see, how much, and a lot of it isn't even, I think it's nice for James to be able to look at the progress of where he's at this day right now, So the crankshaft, right now it's base engine. It's crankshaft, rotation of the crankshaft. That's where we're going to focus right now. And because once that's done, that's the heart of the engine right there. If we got a nice good clamp on the bed plate and everything's all happy, yes, then the rest of it'll just fly together. It's the tightening these vanes down. It's important. And so that's what we're going to focus on right now, is base engine, front and rear covers, basic short block. I don't even have the valves done. I don't have the stem heights all done and the heads assembled, but they're sitting there. They're sitting here waiting. Got the valves right there, and the second cylinder head is here. It's done. It just needs to be put together, and we might throw them together right as we get ready to put them on. Rods, pistons, all that. We'll soap and water all the rods and the pistons. And yep, once again, we got the fluid damper. We're gonna put that on. I've never used one of them before. We'll check it out. I'm not sure. I mean, the fluid damper with the balanced rotating assembly, do they double negative themselves? I'm not sure. I mean, but at the end of the day, it never would be a bad thing to actually have the rotating assembly, you know, weight matched and actually spinning smooth, because the fluid damper is only going to do the front half of the engine, the front half of the crankshaft. You know, the back half's going to do whatever it wants to do. So yeah, I think it would be beneficial to go ahead and still balance, even though the investment was put into the fluid damper. So I think so. Those suckers are nice. That'll work. We got that done fairly quickly too. I mean, very, very quick. Awesome. Go ahead and clean these out. And just make sure that do all we can. I can do it by hand, just a quick scrub, and then we'll blow it out. Just double check all this stuff.
Just gonna do a little extra cleaning.
Yeah, I missed it. I mean, we should have cleaned this before, but because it, I mean, now I'm looking at it all clean. Look at it. In case every now and then you'll get a little bit of. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. What's the name of the word?
Burr?
Burr. No, galling. It'll gall every now and then. If you look right here. Here, look. Well, yeah. Turn the flash. Turn the flash on. Go ahead. Turn the flash. That little bitty piece right there. See that? That little bitty speck right in the middle of the screen. Okay, that is a little piece of a gall that came off the cam bearing. Now, little pieces like that are why I'll put cam bearings in before I'll do oil galley plugs. Just a little bit of help. Not that it really, I don't know if it matters or not, but I want to have the oil galleys out, put the cam bearings in. Any little pieces like that, I'll flip the engine back right side up, and then I'll blow it with just like for a good long minute. Blow through everything again, just to make sure we get all those little galling pieces, all those pieces off the cam bearings. And I mean, honestly, that's not too bad for just a little bit. I mean, yeah, everybody else might say that they can put them in without having any kind of galling at all, but a little bitty sliver here and there happens. So like that one, look at that one right there. See right in the middle of the screen? Little bitty piece. Just, I mean, it happens. So just account for it, and we can make sure we blow it out. And then that's why I want this engine. We use a lot of brake clean and a lot of towels, and I want it dry. Because if there's any oil inside the engine, if it's wet down in there, those little aluminum, those metal shavings will stick to that oil, and you will not be able to blow them out. So we want them dry and be able to blow it out just with blowgun. So we're saw tool. Okay, watch that right down there. See that little bitty sliver right there? Now I need to make my tool a little better. Might cause you to have to chamfer the edge of the cam bearing, but I haven't had those issues. We'll see. But here, watch. And I hold pressure on the cam tool. Come right here, look. Hold pressure right here, and I want to keep this bar pushed that way. Right? Keep it pushed in, so when you hit it, the tool does not bounce off of the cam bearing. If you bounce that off the cam bearing when you're installing it, you will have to chamfer it. Right there, see where it just disappears? Now I give it one more little tap just to move it just a hair more, right there. Okay, now there's a beveled edge. Now what we're doing here, if you look at this section, the leading edge from the rear of the engine, there is a bevel. There's a bevel on the leading edge, and the back edge facing the front of the engine is solid. There is no bevel to start it. So the problem with doing it like that, we have to insert one of them from the backside. So I use the beveled edge on all of the cam tunnel, and I install all of from the front back. Install the first one, and then you don't have to keep taking tool apart. Pull it back, install this one, and then this one we only have one. You know, because we want the cone to ride. I mean, we gotta put these in true, right? So I'll do this one since we will still have that real short attachment point. You know, the connection, and then I will flip it over, and I'll install the rear cam bearing from the front this way, and that's the one that might do a little bit of galling too around that non-leading edge. We'll show that. Another pretty big aspect. Now I'm going to push it from the front back, and we'll do the last one. But another one is look down your oiling hole, and if you shine a light behind it, let me see if I can get this light to look down in here. Shine a light down inside, you can see that? You can see that you got the groove lined up for the oiling hole. Because don't forget the oiling hole. You'll be in trouble. Okay, this one's gonna gall pretty bad. Let's watch this. See what I do is I'll put my finger where the hole is and then just watch it. It's another rocket science moment right here, you know. Just line the freaking hole up. Now watch this. That first hit from here, right here. Look, we're right there. Ready? Here we go. Oh, a little bit. You see it?
Not too bad.
Not
though.
too bad. One more. Here we go. Now this one we need to watch because the depth is a little different than how far we go. I do not want to have to pound it backwards. So I'll start with going flush in. And a lot of times if you can catch it just right, I really don't want to take the cam tool away from the bearing until the bearing is at its final spot. So, I mean, maybe you can use that. Look at that. I've never done that. Look down in the hole and watch as the, right here. See if you can see when the bearing lines up.
Can't
Not
really
yet.
see down in there.
Oh, yeah, you can't. Nice.
I can't focus. Keep going.
That's too far. Is it? Look down in there. Oh, no, look at that. Woo.
Oh yeah.
Good deal. Now, see right here. Let me show you this. Come over here and look at this. Okay.
Oh, we're out
Take-
of focus. Okay.
Taking the tool out's important too. Keep the cone on there, and then look at my hand back here. I'm just holding the tool here, and I put my finger on the end, and then holding this here, right here, holding that end, and then I'm just spinning the tool. That way you're not driving the tool, like spinning it. Don't what I'm saying, don't touch the freaking cam bearings with it, right? And pull it out. Pull it out nice and easy. There you go. This cam bearing installed. Now we'll turn it around, blow it off real good, flip it upside down. Awesome. Now's the point where, look at this. The camshaft is as it was taken out of the truck. We looked over it visually, but it still has, like, it's as if we just took it out. See how it's all protected, covered with oil? It kept it preserved. So right now, we are ready to put it back in. So let's go clean it up. Let's go make this hot cam. All right, I've been sitting here for how long? How long have I been sitting here?
30 minutes.
30 minutes I've been sitting here sanding on this and tapping it in and out of this this flex plate. We got this flex plate here, and it's so tight. Look at the lines there. I just pounded this one in, I sanded it, and all of that was uniform. Those marks were not there. And when I put this in from the backside here, I've sanded on here. See, there's not a lot of marks there. Well, there might be a little bit. I doubt it's as consistent as those. Look at the witness marks in there. See how clean cut they are? That means pretty evenly around it, it's raised. So I'm gonna keep freaking sanding on it until I can actually get it off and on without having to beat it with a hammer, because that's kind of a bummer. So we're just gonna keep playing with it. Right here. That just, it's tight. It's real tight. It's almost, I mean, it's tight. We need to clearance it a little bit. All right, look at that. There's his number, 5730. So that probably says that Bob has done 5,700 crankshafts.
So we went over to Shawnee Mission and spent a bunch of money on parts, and
There was actually a funny story about us being there. There was a guy standing in there, and was carrying out one of the boxes, and he goes, "Looks like you got a big job ahead." And I mean, I looked over at the guy that was in the back of the dealership, and I said, "You pull boxes like this all the time, huh?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "You know how many dealers we drive past?" I was talking to this other guy that was standing there. I said, "You know how many dealers we drive past because this dealership takes care of us?" There's Shawnee Mission Ford. And it just so happens that he was a delivery driver for a dealer that we used like 5-6 years ago. And they got all mad at us because we warrantied more injectors than they did. And this was back when we had people working, and we was doing, I mean, we was doing injectors every single day. Every day we was selling injectors. And we was doing more injectors than that dealership was doing. I mean, we were. And I looked at that delivery driver and I said, "You saw me carry all those boxes out. I mean, it was $4,000 worth of crap."
I said, you saw me carry all those boxes out. I said, why don't you go back to your people in the office and tell them you saw Super Duty carrying out $4,000 worth of stuff out of Shawnee Mission. and he was the freaking delivery driver. I didn't know that, and that's freaking hilarious because we used to do a lot of business with Blue Springs, and ever since that one moment, I told him, I said, go back and ask them what'd I say?
Last time they ran our card.
Yeah. I said ever since that day, it's been 5-6 years. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars later that they haven't ran our card since.
No.
We haven't bought a single item from them, not a single thing, and it's been years and years and years.
We've maybe had a customer go up and get something for their truck that they needed, but
Yeah.
not us. So now we're gonna head back to the shop, and it is 4:20, and we're gonna head through downtown. That's why Anthony's driving and I'm not.
My freaking eyes ain't focusing. What the hell? We'll try to look at this all close. See it with one eye. So let's spread this all out and use this stuff with it. Works really good. All right, so here we are. About to put the bed plate on, cover up James's block, cover up his crank, journals. Let's take a look. We got some anaerobic on it. Got some surface prep on here for the anaerobic. Just getting ready to cover it all up. Say bye-bye. I did put a little bit of ultra torque on the mains. Let's see what that does. I'm going to put a little bit on the shoulder too before we put it on. I normally use engine oil, but this ultra torque, I mean, that's real thin. Like, well, doesn't look so thin, but it's brushed through to where it's. We'll see what it does. I think it ought to get us a little easier. We'll see. I mean, or I never really have an issue with them popping. But every now and then we do. Let's see if this eliminates. If I could torque them all down with no popping at all, and probably, crack it loose, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it happens. But we're going to try that. And let's cover this sucker up now. Here we go.